Yes? And what was it?
Visualization.
Visualization. Oh yes, thank you. If somebody says, I can't visualize, then you say this to them, and I'd like you to all do this as I do this, as I say this. I'd like you to imagine an apple. And what color is it? How many have yellow? How many have green? How many have yellow-green? How many have just red? How many have some other variation? Oh, there's always one. I'm just joking. Okay. Now, did your apple, how many had a stem with a leaf maybe on the apple? How many had no stem, no leaf at all, but a stem? Yeah. Okay. And how many people's apple was actually still on the tree? Ooh, no trees. How many people's apple was floating in the air? Yeah? Okay. How many people's apples, am I saying that right? Tongue twister now. Were on a plate, yeah? Or a table, or something else. All right. Now, however you made that apple picture will work perfectly good for visualization. Because everyone visualizes slightly differently. Some people see CinemaScope, Living Color, Technicolor pictures, and other people have a vague idea of what it would be like if they could actually see something. And however you do, but everybody does visualize, or you couldn't find your car in the car park. You couldn't find your house except when you read the number, because you'd have no visual images. You would not be able to form visual images. You wouldn't recognize your children day to day. They'd have to wear name tags because you would have no visual image. Somebody you hadn't seen for a while that changed a little bit, yeah, you wouldn't recognize, and they came up to you, and you'd say, "Well, sorry, I can't remember," because you'd have no visual imaging ability. So everyone can visualize or imagine. People are freaked out with the visualize where I use imagine. It's the same darn thing. Or else they couldn't find anything or recognize anything. It's just that they do it differently. And someone who is extremely visual, and they think in pictures all the time, and they make the Technicolor thingies, they're going to be going through any visualization tool probably a little more rapidly than the person who has a general idea of what it would look like if they could actually see something. So they'll go a little slower. And that's okay, there's no right or wrong. But everyone can visualize. So you just give them the apple thing. Say, oh, just imagine an apple. And then they have to. And then you ask them questions. Was it, what color it was, if it had a stem, if it was on a plate, blah, blah, blah. And then however you did that will work perfectly well for the visualization work we're going to do. You can go on and do the other blabbing I did if you want to. But that should be sufficient. Another question that was, I asked to bring